Hey guys, I know it's been a minute, but I got a money match for you. That was with me, Yampi, Paulie, versus I forget their names just because Yampi set this up, so I didn't actually interact with anyone. But it was for $300, so pretty cool. We're gonna get into it. Now, I thought it was a good match just because it actually went 2-2. Even though we were in a lead, we made a couple misplays that I want to go over because I feel like they cost us the game. But Paulie was on Sword Soul, I was on Sword Soul, Yampi was on Punk. They're on Punk, Salad, and Sword Soul as well. Or no, yeah. Yep. So we go Ecclesia to Moye. Moye effect, reveal Adhara. Get the token. Use Long Yawn to play around Nib. And then we get 2 tokens. We're debating, but we think that we want the draw 2, right? Now if he had Nib, it would have been really sad there because obviously Nib's on the 5th synchro, even though we're playing around it, but we need to draw 2 anyway, so the synchro has to go second. Draw 2 really good cards, Imperm Ash, so we're feeling good, right? Search the Blackout. We definitely, I think, should have put Chi on 3 there just because we want to search it, and he would have ashed the Ecclesia, so it's one thing to know that that's the only card we wanted to search with the Long Yawn already used. So we won that game pretty easy. We're still blind, so we're kind of confused how to side. But we opened 2 hand traps going second, and that feels really good. His hand is really weird. So he's playing 60 cards, so it's really confusing what he's actually playing. And then when he plays this Instant Fusion, I'm assuming it's like a Predaplant build or something. But then he summons this Omni Negate guy, and then that was really damaging because now we have to decide if we want to Ash Imperm this, and we do. Just because I think the value is worth it. And you see with this hand, he has 2 hand traps, so it kind of bricks him, right? But hand traps are extenders now because they're mostly tuners, and then they make Hulk. Special Jet Synchron. Now I think we're just going to get Scythe. Yeah, we get Scythe here. Which is unfortunate because we're playing Sword Soul. We have Chalices in. We have Droplets. And what are you going to do, though? So then he's going to get the Dagda effect because we can't play around it. We activate Emergence, Adhara, or Moye. It's all going to get, screwed. And we know he's going to get the Baron with the Wonder Magician. So we think we need blockers, and we know our Blackout's about to get negated by the Baron. So it's like just such a weird position. But we do think we can like straggle on a few turns, right? So that's why we play it out. Because it's like obviously 1 card in hand. Not much. Especially we see it's a Nib. So he gets the Baron. We attack the Dagda because we attack the Dagda because on our turn, if he leaves the Scythe in grave anyway, then he's gonna get the Baron. So honestly, we want him to summon the Scythe here because we didn't want to engrave for our next turn for him to summon it again off Baron's effects because we have no outs to Baron. We were contemplating this Emergence a lot. I said to do it. Paulie didn't want to do it. My thinking is we don't want to draw Sword Soul. We'll just thin the deck because we need the Taie follow-up. I felt like Taie was going to be the best follow-up regardless of what we drew. Obviously, we draw a normal summon like Moye or another Taie. It's really bad, but I just thought it was worth the extra card. He draws a hand trap, uses the Baron's effects to pop, negates our Blackout, attacks for 13, pretty much destroys our board. But like I said before, that Scythe's no longer in his graveyard. But the fact is, he can summon the Wonder Magician back, I think, right? And then I didn't realize this, but he still has to go into main phase. So like I was scared because I forgot that Wonder Magician was main phase effects for a second, and I was like, oh, he can just go Baron now, then summon the Scythe. But no, he couldn't. So it's good that he had that Scythe on the board, so we could actually try to play. Obviously, he draws the Imperm, which sucks. But we have Blackout in grave, so we have tons of plays. And then we just pass because we know that he can just Wonder Magician into Baron. So like we were debating on like if we need the defenders for the next turn, but we already knew he didn't really have anything, so we're like, we just have to pass in this situation because he would have just made Baron and negated our Taia. Now he's gonna attack, make Baron, get more damage. Ecclesia was a okay draw, but the problem is he's just gonna scythe this again. And that's what's fun about this deck. We get scythed so many times. Like, it's ridiculous. So we're debating on if we want to special the Ecclesia or Adhara or summon the Moye or Taia because we know we want blockers. We elect to go Ecclesia into Taia. Alright, so part of me is confused why we didn't just summon the Taia instead of the Ecclesia. I don't know. That's one I'm confused by. But we could have maybe just normal summoned the Taia, but I guess we get to thin our deck of a Taia. It also comes out in defense, which is better. Then this was so surprising. I mean, he's playing Golden Lord in this deck too, with all the other cards. So this is really interesting what's going to happen. So he summons Lina. We're like, all right, we have Valor for this, right? But then we're like, is it even worth the Valor here? Because if he has another extender in his hand, we could have made the read that, like, that card's been a brick in his hand the whole time, but I don't think we were paying attention to that enough. Obviously, he's shuffling his hand too. But we decided to go through this because as long as we get rid of the access code, it doesn't matter if he has another extender. So we force him to summon the access code first, and then we're going to just Valor the access code because now he can't summon another access code. So there's no way he can kill us. So it was really good to hold the Valor here. Celine's fine because I already know he's about to go in access code. When he summoned this, I was like, what the hell? Because none of us even thought of this. And, you know, that was definitely a misplay. Maybe we should have just Valored the Celine, but because we're in an awkward position even here, right? But obviously he's going to still make the access code and try to kill us. Maybe thinking we're just bluffing the Valor. Kill a token. We have the Taia live, and pretty sure that's curtains. We banished the blackout because we're gonna special. We have Shatana in deck. But we can just send a Shun and make a level. Oh, we're making Chao Fang to play around the Nib that he does have, so that's pretty nice that we actually played around Nib, and we're just gonna kill him. Oh, and then Paulie forgot that he already normaled. It doesn't matter though, because it's just like guaranteed lethal regardless. Because we just searched Long Yawn. But yeah, that was weird. I was confused. But yeah, it was good. We played around Nib there, so we won first match 1-0. And then it goes Paulie versus Shadow Lantern. We have another nice hand, 2 hand traps with the Tenyi play. He does have Ash, which sucks though, because we don't really have follow up here. So here's interesting. We special summon the Vishuddha because obviously we'd rather have Adhara and Grave, right? But one's a normal summon, so we can normal summon the Adhara rather than we can't normal summon the Vishuddha. Chixiao is going to search, get us Emergence, banish Adhara, get back the Ashuna. Emergence for, we play around Nib here, so we just grab follow-up because we have 2 hand traps, and then we just have the Chixiao. And then he draws another Ash. And we had no idea this was ABC. I was not prepared for ABC. He goes set 2 pass, which was crazy, just because we ashed the Enchantress. So obviously we're just going to bounce the back row and then win. So we get a free game 1 Now the rest of the match should be easy, right? But then we draw 2 Chalice, Imperm, Valor. All these cards are just not very strong versus ABC, by the way. We just had to keep them in. Chalice is for, you know, it's good versus like Token Collector too. Um, but yeah, there's just not much you can do versus this deck. Like, also it was blind. We still didn't know what he was playing exactly. So, maybe Crow would have been better than some of these, but that's it. So Prosperity grabs the Terraforming. And he has the D barrier too, so this is just going to be such an insane combo. Yeah. Yeah, it's B. There's a lot of plays, because I don't play this deck that, like, thoroughly. Oh, he's setting the field spells, by the way, just because Paulie plays on his phone, so, there's, like, a glitch with the phone that will just, like, crash his PC if we leave the field spell up and he can't play. Or his phone, I should say. So this is the end board, I think. The Omni Negate, well, Andy's gonna make the fusion, obviously. But these two don't do anything right now. This just summons a gadget, but he obviously does not play a gadget. And then we have the Imperm, and Valor, so we didn't use it at all. Because there's actually just like no reason to. He still does all his plays, and he has the Regulus, so maybe we just play with 3 negates next turn. Then he makes Epo, but they have to have different names. Thank God I was playing with Paulie, because he actually knows this deck like pretty well. But this deck's crazy. I mean, if it just opens the combo, it's so hard to beat with the added fusion. Now here it's like, yeah, it's nice because he doesn't have 3 zones, but this tributes for cost, right? So doesn't really do much. The fact that he has too many zones. Long Yawn, terrible draw. It's at least a worm, so we're gonna like maybe play, right? And this might have been a game where actually I think this is the game that we threw, because we'll see in a second. We're just gonna try to use Ecclesia, special Moye. He's gonna wait to try to negate Moye before. Oh well, he just used a D barrier, so this definitely isn't the game we threw. D barrier, there's nothing you can do. But this next game was super close. So now we're going to go first because the ABC deck is just like too insane. Going first, he opens Driver, Gamma, Griffin, Dracoback, Union Hanger. So it's like, how do we lose this game? God, it like pains me to watch this. Like, what? How do we lose this game? We're gonna Ecclesia, summon the Moye. He's gonna negate with the Gamma. We reveal Shatana. We open 3 Chalice, which obviously, who wants to open 3 Chalice? Like, I'm cool with just 1 for the TC, which is pretty unfortunate. We set 3 Chalice because if he lightning storms us, it's like we just lose anyway. And this is how we felt. Alright, so he activates Union Carrier, has to set it, gets B, because we can't do anything. Our literal only play was like the Moye, the Ecclesia into Moye, which is on or Shatana Taye, but yeah. So here he equips C. Then he's gonna make the gadget link. B to add. We're gonna chalice the gadget because we got negates for days, and we also thought it would break his hand because if there's no way to get the A on Field of Grave, he's pretty much screwed, right? So then he sets 1, the Droplet. Unfortunate he top decks that Droplet. Here we don't really have any plays besides like Taye, banish the Moye. So we get the Adhara for follow-up, adding the Moye. Yeah. Then he's gonna droplet, pitch the Draco back. Interesting, not the A, but he wants the A as an extender, obviously. And then we're gonna summon Shaman so we can actually use Moye, so we, still play. Then we're gonna reveal the Shatana again off Moye. Everything's gonna go through, which is pretty sweet. Here we debate on Cheek Shower Draco back. I think we should have summoned Draco back in hindsight. Oh, we're gonna attack with the normal monster to pop the field spell actually with Shaman effect, because it doesn't have to attack anything like a monster. It can just attack. But if he special that gadget, we would have been screwed. He tried to make a joke. So we make Cheek Shout. Really, we should have made Berserker just because he's playing the Theron guy. Like, I don't know why we did this. But I mean, it was a group decision. Like, it was my fault too. I think I was probably the one that said Cheek Shout over Berserker, which definitely was a mistake. So he's gonna use the Griffin that he's had for the whole time. Then he's gonna normal summon the A, I'm pretty sure. No, he's just gonna use Regulus first. Yeah, it's weird. Well, I guess he wanted to see if we would stop the Griffin. We're gonna Cheek Shout on the Regulus. He's gonna negate. Doesn't destroy. Normal's the A we knew in his hand. We thought it was weird that he had a B, like really weird. Because yeah, he pitches the B now. He's gonna flip. See if he lands on the right one. Lands on the second Chalice. Woo woo. We target the Cheek Shout. We really wanted to like get a cool play with like him attacking the fusion into the Cheek Shout and then us getting like, winning that battle. But unfortunate that he didn't. Like here, and then he attacks anyway because the field spell would have protected it anyway, right? So not the coolest play that we were thinking of. Like a damage step Chalice. We were just talking about it the turn before a lot. Sends the Regulus, kills her Shaman, take 1200. Then activates Banishing. We're thinking if we want Chalice, because our Cheek Shout is the same as Chalice next turn, but Chalice does just seem better because if we draw Tenya, we want the space too. So here is where it all goes to shit. Because, so it's, do you Chalice the Omni Negate or the Fusion? And also, when do you Chalice? I wanted to Chalice the Fusion and special Ecclesia. And then he just negates the Ecclesia with Regulus, and then we make Yazi with these two, so we can summon Taye. But we were afraid that Paulie was afraid of his follow-up Regulus. So that's why we didn't do it, because we wanted to get this get rid of this with the Buster effect. But let's just see how that went. Then target one card. Oh, and it costs to discard, so we literally could have just chained the Chalice. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And we take a long time to think, but I do like it. I just think this was objectively wrong targeting the Regulus. But like looking back at it now, so we special the Shatana, especially, but like if we specially like you're gonna see why. All right, so we use the Ecclesia effect, special Taye. Now we're forced to use the So, and the whole reason, and this is what we forgot, was that we only have 2 Tayes. So we used Taye already. So now our Moye specials nothing. Like it specials an Ashuna, Vashuda bounce. Like that does nothing. So if we had 3 Tayes, this play was fine, right? But we don't. So we had to pay more attention to that, and that's why we just throw the game. Because we're gonna try to make a Yazi with the Ash. And so we weren't 2-0. So now it's literally 1-1. This was already long, so I'm gonna just do this in 3 parts because I feel like it is a really good match, or maybe 2 parts if tomorrow takes less time. But it's so painful, and I feel like Sword Soul is a deck that like um, it really punishes your misplays. Like if you don't play perfect, you're gonna lose so many more games that you literally could have won. But it's like a simplified deck. It's like Teller Knights now to me, and that's why I feel like you just gotta play perfect. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate any support. Sorry I've been gone for a while. Excited for Nats at Chicago. Peace.